Stories are economic savagery and then some. My name is Osadumebi, and every week I usually tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. But this is Series Week, where I tell you a story over the course of 2 to 7 consecutive days. Basically, however long it takes to complete the story. Series Week will occur once a quarter, and the stories featured will still be written by Nigerian writers and authors, but will either consist of a sequence of related episodes from one story or a set of stories linked by a common theme. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, today's story is from a collection by Abasiekeme Akpakpan, and it's titled Dearest Family Members. If everything good will come, when? Listen in tomorrow for another story in the collection. My dearest family members, I live in a reality TV show. But not the kind that trends on X or keeps you up all night binge watching. No. Mine is the kind you stumble upon by accident, laugh at briefly, and then cringe in horror. The kind you can afford to miss. And I promise, I am not exaggerating. All my life, I have lived in Nigeria, moving from city to city like a traveler with no final destination. I am a surface girl. I don't get too attached to places. But I have lived in this show. And trust me, this one, you can afford to miss it. Recently, I was rereading Everything Good Will Come by Sefi Atta. And I wanted to ask her, maybe even ask you, will it really, as in, will it really come? Back then, sugarcane was 20 naira. And a bottle of granite was 80 naira. Yet, people struggled to afford it. No, they need to live in this day because honestly, how much worse can it get? When I first moved to Lagos, commuting from my estate gate to the last bus stop was 100 naira. I watched the price rise like a slow-building plot twist you see coming, but still pray will not happen. Now, it is 300 naira, barely 3 years later. I saw people who could not afford the 100 naira then, and I am still seeing people who cannot afford the 300 naira now. And yet, they have to move every single day. Some people fake being broke to solicit pity, to beg, to hustle their way through the day. But how do you explain an entire country launching a 30-day online rant about the cost of living? How do you explain people, actual working class people, skipping meals, not as some wellness detox, but as a necessity? I have lived in a time when one egg was 25 naira. I now live in a time where one egg costs 200 naira. Guys, I am not even close to 30, yet I have lived through insane economic twists. At this rate, I will not be surprised if we start taking loans to afford a pot of stew. Maybe form a small cooperative society. Ajo for pepper soup. What am I even saying? My grandmother probably has stories that make mine look like child's play. And the reality is, nothing prepares you for this show. I kid you not. Not even your experiences from yesterday tell you what is next. Wait now, I'll prove it. A few days ago, I may have finally come to the conclusion that maybe, just maybe, everything good will not come. Word of advice. You may have to find ways to create good from where you are. I was on my way to the cinema just last weekend, running late, and barely paying attention to the world around me. It was 3 o'clock, as in 3 p.m., broad daylight. The sun was still high, bouncing off windshields, making the asphalt shimmer like glass. My mind was elsewhere, on the movie I was about to watch, wondering if I had enough money for popcorn. Then, out of nowhere, a dispatch rider slowed to a stop. At first, I did not register him. I thought he was on his phone. Don't blame me. I was not with my glasses. As my eyes adjusted, my brain struggled to process what I was seeing. A man sitting casually on his bike, unzipped his trousers, reached inside, and pulled out his penis. Then, with what I thought was the most audacious stare, he started wanking. Next thing I heard him say was that I should come and touch him, as in this man expected me to be intrigued. My heart stalled. The world was mute. In that split second, everything changed. My feet moved before my brain could process it. If you have ever heard someone scream, "Get out!" from the depths of their being, that was me. All my legs understood was run. I have read about these things in books, in novels. People say Lagos is a madhouse, but me, I used to think that they exaggerated. People say they got molested in moving vehicles. People say they were just walking, minding their business, when someone grabbed them and ripped them apart. But for me to experience this, outside of my imagination, I was livid. Barely 24 hours later, still grappling with the disgusting image seared into my brain, my phone buzzed. I had made a story from it on WhatsApp, and someone responded, "You should have preached Christ to him." I stared at my screen, unblinking, because in this show, the audience never fails to deliver the most shocking reactions. Bro, this show is not just about the economy. We blame the government. But what about us? Rigged or not, we are the government. It is not just policies that ruin a nation. It is the people too. It is that perverse dispatch rider from my weekend. It is the person who suggested that I should have preached Christ to him in the face of getting molested. It is the society that sees what is wrong but turns a blind eye. It is you and it is me. Suddenly, you have the opportunity to lead, and the exact thing that you threw stones at the last leader for, you repeat it too. After all, you waited 5 years to be in SS3 to mete out the same punishment. Nigeria reminds me of that notorious class back in school. The one that was always being called out during assembly. The one always in detention, always kneeling down under the sun with arms raised. They had the smartest students in the school, brilliant minds that could change the world. But somehow, they were always on the wrong side of the table. That is this country. A place brimming with potential but drowning in dysfunction. A place where you can wake up to a currency crisis in the morning and a viral TikTok dance by noon. A place where tragedy and comedy walk hand in hand, where the absurd is normal and normal is a privilege. So yeah, I live in a reality TV show. And you see this show? If you have the choice, do yourself a favor. Don't subscribe. Regardless, you are probably in it already. And as you know, I am rooting for you. Love, your Abbas. Your Abbas is a writer and storyteller based in Lagos. By day, she works with a financial institution. But between the ticking of office hours and quiet moments in traffic, she returns to her lover, writing. Her stories live on Medium under the name Your Abbas. To contact her, reach out on Instagram at my_Abbas, on X at _Abasiekeme, or connect with her on LinkedIn at Abasiekeme Akpakpan. Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, I would love to hear from you. Send an email to info@osadumebi.com or send me a message at osadumebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or X. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with that one person you know will enjoy listening. Tell them that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.